Hello everyone, this is Elite of America, and today we are playing Napoleon Total War, a 3v3 on Waterloo. I am here with myself and Scott on the left flank here, as well as a random on the right. We're playing against all MGL players, and I believe one other clan player. Anyway, as you can see, already the battle's starting. The Spanish spawned just a million units over here. We all planned for this. The French guy, the random guy who was on our team, set up a position over here, and I set up a bunch of forces to reinforce him, including some line troops to hold his flank, melee troops to push to the center, and then cav just kind of attack wherever I needed. Rules were 1 artillery, 4 lights, no fixed unicorns, so I believe, or actually, I think the rules were no artillery maybe, because yeah, Scott's the one with an artillery piece. Anyway, it has been a while, so I don't remember a lot about this battle, other than, you know, it's a huge MGL clan attack on Waterloo. And other than that, I really don't remember a whole lot. I remember it's a bloodbath, that's why it's a good replay, and it picks up pretty quick. And it has been a while. I try not to record myself too much because it is laggy like this. And I've just been all around pretty busy, especially with high school ending and getting ready for college, that kind of stuff. So mainly been, you know, doing school stuff or hoping that other people would get some replays recorded, that kind of thing. But anyway, it's been a while, so I was like, let's do one on my own. That was a really good battle. It's really laggy, but it's a good fight, so thought we'd go with it. And you can see the audio for the firing is cutting out. I'm guessing it's because there's just so much movement from different commanders commanding their troops around. So far, they've got one guy kind of all on his own over here that's going to be heading up for our left flank, and then they've got 2 armies heading for our right flank. And now you can see I just kind of ran everyone over here because I realized that time's on our side. We need to get over here and kind of apply pressure while they're doing the same. Otherwise, they'll be able to get comfortably in here with all these troops that they have rushing up past the house over here. And they did throw some guys in this house over here. When Scott and I decided to do the same and throw guys in these houses just so that they wouldn't have an easy time hitting our center and our left. So it's going to be a bit laggy. Well, a lot laggy, I'm sorry. I'm getting my gaming PC moved to where I'll be going to college, so I'll be back on that, and it'll be a million frames per second, and it won't be all crappy like this. So we only have to put up for it a little longer, but until then, we'll watch some laggy combat where the bodies mass up pretty quickly here. I mean, you can see there's already way over 100 men that have fallen just within the first few minutes of the battle here. And the enemy now has their swarm coming up the hill here. So over here, I'm trying to put on the pressure so that they can't really form up very well. And I'm trying to get my ally to do the same, but so far he's just kind of cool having a little bit of a light fight. He's not really throwing in any cav or anything to force him back. And they've only got stakes here and here, so their center is completely weak. They've only got 1 line unit, none here. I mean, if you just massed cav in here and just disrupted all of this, got all their cav committed in the center, and halted all these line infantry, I mean, this force would just be done for. But our ally seems to be okay with just shooting off his lights. So Scott and I are going to be pushing on the flank in order to get something going. You can see I did throw in one of my own cav, actually, to try and mess up all these lights and disrupt all of the line infantry they have coming over, which are being led by the Walloon Guards, leading the huge march. So the difficult point, or part of attacking on this side that we're doing right now, is these stakes are here, so we have to maneuver our cav very carefully around that. And also these forests, which are a strong point for the Spanish, which are very hard to crack. Not to mention we've had to run over here, so our guys are already getting tired. And I'm pretty worried about throwing my melee units just yet, because they have so much cav, and melee units just get destroyed by cav. Our ally is actually shooting the ground over here. That sucks. Alright, so over here, Scott is just setting up defense. I was telling him, you know, let's just focus over here and hammer anything that attacks from the front. And usually people don't attack from the front. This guy ends up going through with it, which is extremely surprising. And you can see from the map, it actually is looking pretty bad for us. We're already losing quite a few units, and they definitely have the surround on us right now. Because over here, you can't leave. This whole area right here is insurmountable, so you can't go around that. It's only stuck between here and there. And we are definitely being closed in by the Spanish right now. So over here, they're trying to put me in square, so I can't be firing. I am getting in square. Scott's units, his 10th Hussars, are being caught in melee by the cav, though. The Spanish are just pushing through and hitting our French ally over there. And once the cav kind of moved out, I was like, yeah, let's go put them in square. So right now they're getting out of square, and I'm like, let's change that. Or not. Now or never. Alright, no, it looks like Scott's going to do it instead. I don't know. We may have been communicating here, and he just decided to throw in his units. Nope, I'm going as well. I can't get out of square, though, because these cav are still running through my lines. And the French, I mean, they're just in a really bad position. He's not firing from this upper position here. I mean, he is on the left side, but right here he's kind of just going into this lower slope area. And he's getting a lot of shots into the ground, and what he's not getting shot into the ground is mainly, you know, gonna go over their heads. And while he's missing the Spanish like that, they're just getting to shoot down in this little kill zone here. So the French are just kind of getting mowed down, at least in their center. The left side of the French is doing all right, and then I've got their right. So the Spanish cav still didn't rout, but I was like, I need to get out of squares because I'm just getting mowed down. And Scott's cav got chewed up pretty quick. My cav's getting chewed up still, although it did at least, you know, disrupt, put them in square. And look, right when I got a square, more cav, and these cav are still in my line, so I can't even farm square. So just like that, these two units just gonna get slaughtered. So I have to throw in more. And you can see I have rifles, so I just planted my own stakes. And I thought this was probably the most important position, considering this is the flank under contestment. And if they push through here, it'll be very difficult for them to do a very well-timed attack, I guess, when it comes to coordinating their infantry and their cavalry all together. Over here, you can see Scott's suicidally throwing up his artillery, because it wasn't part of the rules, I suppose. Nobody else has artillery. This guy is not attacking just yet. He's gonna throw some fusiliers in his house. These guys, I'm trying to be careful with their ammo, because when they're in the houses, they do run out pretty quick. French general is being a little suicidal over here. And on this side, it's just an utter bloodbath. The French are throwing in cav, but they're not supporting it with their lines. When they throw in cav like that, they should push up, get in really close, at least to cross that little dip in the ground there. Here, I've thrown in more cav so that I can throw in some fresh troops. And now I'm getting them out of square, or while they're in square. And it's Walloon Guards, so it's a very good unit to be shooting. They definitely have their best units holding the flank right now. But once I get past these, it shouldn't be as hard to crack all these units, because these are just regular fusiliers. I'm losing units. Feelings. Over here, he has not jumped in the house just yet. Right now, he's just kind of hanging outside. Not sure what's up. There he goes. Now he's running in the house. I'm trying to get as many shots off as possible. And now here comes the main assault. Well, that's all going on. I mean, our French ally, he's honestly already down to the bare minimum. He's already been beaten back pretty heavily. I still have some pretty good reserves over here. Mainly what I was doing was I was thinking, if they break through, I'm going to have a little position over here to hold, and then I was hoping Scott would send over some reserves to support the French, because they're not healthy. But so far he's got them over on my flank, which I guess is alright, because I don't have a lot of line infantry over here. So I'm in square, once again, because the cav are in the way. I'm going to have to jump out of square, because these French lines are coming to mow me down. Over here, I pulled back my lights. The Spanish are just doing a full-out assault. They're forcing us back. And I threw in another unit to this house just to better hold it, I guess. I'm getting some melee units over there as well. What I'm planning here is, you see I'm sending over my melee units, and I'm pulling back all of my lights in line to a fallback position here. Also sending over some cav, and what my plan here was, throw the line of... This is a really good plan. Sorry, I just love this. I throw the units, the line of tree in a melee. I was hoping to get him out of square. It didn't really work. He's smart about that. And then what I was going to do was hit the lines with the cav while he wasn't in square, but that didn't work. So what I'm doing is charging through, trying to get these guys out of square. And then while these guys are all distracted by this one line, in come the melee units, Scott's Highlanders, and my cav, which I throw in once these guys can't get in melee. So this is just going to be an absolute mosh pit of bodies. Alright, here come the cav. These guys can't get in square. You can see my men are in melee with them. So here come the cav. Just going to absolutely flatten these guys. Boom. And it's a downhill charge. And Scott's getting in position. And then here come the melee units. So all these guys just going to get slaughtered here. And then I'm telling Scott to hold fire. I'm letting him fire with these guys. I'm like, fire with these guys. Guys, that's cool. They're just shooting line or these guys. But these guys, I was like, hold up. Let my melee units do some work. So we're just chopping up all these 4 units. And I'm trying to catch his other units over here with my caps. There they go. And while that's going on, the Spanish are doing a counter assault over here, hammering the French. You know, they look how close these French are to being broken. We really need troops over here. And I was really worried about this flank at first. I mean, now it's looking super, super rough for these Spanish, and they're falling back. So eventually I'm going to have to send some units over here, and I do have that reserve line. Over here, my units, wow, they're gone already. Okay. Walloon Guards are still holding strong. Down to 14 men. Oh my god. I'm getting some melee units over. I was really worried about these cav. I think, yeah, they're gonna hit me. That sucks. So we're down to the bare minimum over here, and the Spanish are still looking very healthy. Honestly, our only good-looking spot over here is over here, where we have my guys holding the house, firing into, and all these British just firing into the Spanish. And then here I'm like, yeah, I'll go ahead, open fire. Yep, you can hear the fire at will going on. So I still got the line infantry, melee units, and cav just running around, just disrupting all of this, and Scott's just having a field day opening fire. Still have this other melee unit holding out there. On this side, I routed that cav. I did lose... Yeah, I lost quite a few of my melee units. I threw up one line here just to, like, suicidally hold off these guys and get my reserve flank held. The Spanish decided to pull back. It's a little too late, but they're pulling back. I guess it's a good idea. These guys I should have definitely been sending over already. A little late, though. The Spanish are pretty much gone as far as, you know, their main attack here. So we've taken the slope once again. They threw some line. Oh my gosh. They threw some line over at Scott's Highlanders over there to put them in square. But, you know, they has no line supporting, so really wasn't any point of that. Yep, there goes all my units. I lost 3 units charging here, and we massacred about 4 or 5. Plus that cav's gonna be gone, so it might be 6. I know we got a light or 2. And look how, you know, low health they are. So we definitely did very well over here. This guy attacking all by himself wasn't a very good idea, considering we had an army and a half over here. And now that Scott's gotten his Highlanders on this flank, it's looking a lot better for us. We've reinforced. Now it's looking like my side is the weakest. You can see I'm trying to hold off, as once again, my strong point where I have this little hill here, and they have this dip they'll have to go in, so it'll be a terrain advantage for me. But man, oh my gosh, all these bodies over here. And this, I mean, this battle isn't even very long, at least not that I remember. And there's just, you know, the bodies pile up so fast. It's pretty brutal. Right here, the French guy actually like crashed or something. But, you know, he only had like 4 units, so I was like, okay, let's keep going. So he's just going to march forward and die, and I guess that's alright, you know, because Scott can push up and get some shots in. And even after all of that, this French guy's like, you know, I'm not having it, I'm going to keep going. So he's walking uphill against Highlanders, and I still hold the house. And he's just going to get, you know, shot in this little enveloping circle here. What Scott should be doing is probably coming down from here. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Yup. Good idea. Coming around, surrounding these Spanish, because, I mean, they have no guys covering their right flank. Oh, and here comes the suicidal general. He just died. I'm still holding out here. I just threw up my lights. Pull back everything else. I also have some rifles. I'm not sure if they're out of ammo or what. Should probably get them up here. Also have this one rifle here. And I was kind of using this rifle to zone out his units. He has no lights over here. Oh man, he has a ton of lines still. He's still got both Walloon, or I know. He's got one Walloon guard here, one Walloon. Wow, neither of them routed. They survived all of this. That's crazy. And I'm okay with shooting at this little light unit here because I'm kind of hoping I'm getting some stray shots to hit these line back there. On this side, Scott has turned the Spanish flank. Scott, oh, he, I think he threw a Highlander into the house to help me out. I don't see any. Maybe. I seem to be losing units somewhere. Not sure where that is. Oh, in the house, lost unit. Here come the Spanish with some calves. Scott missed a square over here. That's alright. Looks like they're going for his general. But they're such a small unit, don't think they're going to make it. He actually has some lights coming over, which is going to be really good for holding the hill. Especially since you can stack your lines, just mow down anything that comes through. Over on this side, I pushed up my rifles. Once these line infantry pushed over the hill, and I'm getting some really good shots on them. Plus, they aren't even in range of any. They aren't even in range of these Highlanders, so I'm just getting free kills right now, just picking them off while they stand there. It's a really small unit to take some fire. This one decided to charge up and open fire, or try and get my shots. So I held fire with my line infantry, and these guys aren't out of ammo. But I decided let's throw them in melee so I can rout them without wasting my line infantry's volley. So I'm holding fire with these guys, and looks like I'm not going to charge with them. Throwing up a lot. Okay, here I'm throwing in my melee units because here comes the main Spanish assault. Over here, these Spanish guys seem to be pulling back, you know, behind the house. They just, you know, they're using that kind of as like a hinge to protect themselves. Now I turn on fire at will. Now that his regular units pushed in. Here come the melee units. And these guys are going to get bunched up. He was pushing these guys way too close. Should have kept them back. Boom. Alright. Melee units. This one's still coming in. He's trying to run there, so I'm deciding to hit here. So just like that, forcing them back. And these guys are still getting their shots off. So that's pretty good. Man, it looks like a lot of it looks like a lot of friendly fire, and that it was an intense melee fight, I guess, because those guys are getting pretty chopped up. So I'm going to keep sending these guys on, letting my lights and line infantry open fire. And he's running all the way back to Spain right now. These dudes are running a marathon. Scott brought his lights over here. Oh, man, that was a good volley. Mowing down some balloon guards, getting some stray shot hits on these reserve troops they have. And now my Banshees are retreating. He left this unit of Fusiliers up here. Oh, man. I don't think any single one is going to survive. Let's see. Nope, they're all gone. I guess he rallied them because they lasted till like 4 men. These guys are going to keep going. I think I'm okay with just letting my rifles and stuff fire because I don't want to push into this dip. That'll be the mistake that my French ally made over here. Oh, Scott's taking a lot of stray shots on these guys. So that kind of sucks. And his general's getting sniped. We just killed a general. Oh man, nice. He just ran through our stakes. Oh yeah, here's where Stenz, he left the game, which really sucked. But we kind of thought maybe it was GG because we had just dominated this side, and I had just repelled this attack pretty well on my side.
Our men are running.
These units over here, I believe, are all someone else's. There was just these like three or four units up here that were Stenz's. Yeah, I think this corner and over there is another player, and then it was just this little section here that was Stenz. So, and they still open fire. They kind of play like a real player, to be honest, for the most part. So this guy, I believe, is going to start retreating up here, avoiding my lights. I'm still going to try and pick him off, though. He's going to pull back. Stenz's AI is just being mowed down. You know, at least they're returning fire once in a while. Kind of sucks that people left. I just really liked the assault that took place at the beginning. And I thought our tactic over here was just absolutely beautiful. I thought that went so well. This guy's, you know, he's just running away. There's nothing he can do. Scott's running some Highland foot to the house there. So over here, these units are lining up and returning fire against the British. And this guy is, yeah, this is what he's doing. He's setting up units behind Stenz's AI so that he can hold this flank and not be surrounded over here. And I'm okay with that, you know. Scott has enough troops here to hold them off, and I've got my lights firing at their flank. And you can see all the bodies right around here are mainly from my lights just kind of picking them off as they pushed up there. So, I mean, what kind of sucks for us here is that Scott's units are all focused on these AI troops. So what he does is he's going to pull back and try and reform, hoping these guys will rout, I guess. At least these lights are taking some fire for Scott. But anyway, what really sucks is he's focusing fire on an AI, which isn't very advantageous at all. What he wants to be killing is the real player's troops. So right now this guy's basically getting free kills. And then he decides to do another full assault over here. This guy's balloon guards leading the charge. And I do have the numbers. I've got my healthy line infantry. It's only taking 2 losses. And all my lights and my general, so this flank's definitely going to hold against, you know, 3 units. I think these guys are out of ammo. I'm not sure. Oh, he stayed just out of range, so I just had to throw up my lights. And then I direct targeted his balloon guards. Those were the most dangerous threat. These guys I decided to keep charging. And here all of my lights are repositioning to fire on this flank. Scott kept going against this guy. I mean, he had a good idea. He set up a little V shape to kind of envelop Scott, but Scott, you know, he's not having any of it. He's going to set up a straight, flat line to return fire. And we've just, you know, flooded this house so much there's no way to taking it at this point. Oh, and there's a melee charge. Oh wait, no, I think I'm going up to rally. I'm not sure. Oh no, I'm going to hit these guys. So here comes my general. One final glorious charge before the end of the battle. He did form square. I'm gonna pull out, but while that's going on, I'm trying to hopefully get these guys to rout so I can realign and open fire at those Fusiliers. Right, I still have all my lights shooting them though, so that's pretty good. Over here, the Spanish guy just can't hold up against all the fire, especially from the house, so he's going to have to keep pulling back. And this guy is actually doing pretty well up on this hill. Seems to be beating Scott's guys. I'm not sure what these guys are shooting at. They're not firing at all. Comes a Spanish melee charge. My general is going after their general. It's pretty badass. Boom, routed that side. I just had so much firepower going on them. 3 lights in my line. So I'm going to pull everyone up over this hill and finish up these Spanish, which are actually breaking through. But Scott still has this pretty healthy Highlander that should be able to finish this and clean it up. And I've got my general hopefully trying to, I was just trying to get my general really to hold this flank. At least till my men could clean up and get up here, so that seems to be working. And this guy's, he's just way off in La La Land right now. He should have gone up here, to be honest, and this would have been a good spot. Well, actually, I mean, a good spot to have a final stand would probably be the south, but if he was going to do anything, it should have been to come up and help this guy out if this guy wasn't planning on moving.
Glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
Scott's not going on the chase. He's like, let's just clean up over here. Boom, they're all gone. General's down to 5 men. He might actually die from friendly fire here. Maybe. Maybe. What am I doing with him? Oh, I'm going all the way over here. Do I want to get shot? I think I'm general hunting. No, I'm going after some lights. My general's going for more than 1 charge, that's for sure. So he gets into the Spanish lights. I don't even think I care about him dying at this point because, we just have so much overwhelming numbers. Also, or so many overwhelming numbers. And then I think this unit's out of ammo, so I just left him in the house. And they're down to 25, so I guess maybe it was a good idea to keep him there to have a, some steady morale. General's probably going to die here. That's just him, just the general. Getting 1 final kill. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, he's totally dead. Just took like 3 shots to the back. Alright, now Scott did one huge push over here. Just going to mass fire on these Spaniards that are holding this forest. It's not really great line of sight, but it's just so many shots coming in, I guess. Plus the morale penalties from being utterly surrounded and outnumbered. Spanish general hanging out over here. Somehow not being shot at right now. Oh yeah, I jumped in the house. Try and get some shots on the flank. And then Scott's ordering a mass charge with his Highlanders. Most of his army was composed of Highlanders and lights, to be honest. Here they come, Highlander charge. Spanish are reforming. Oh, we got some friendly fire. Boom, they're gone. And the Spanish general flees as he sees all of his men panicking. Plus, he just, I bet you he's panicking from seeing all those guys swarming in there. Anyways, that's the battle. We were facing IKG and MGL. And we were playing with a 409th guy, which he's pretty good. That's why I was like, we might have a chance at this. And he plays with a lot of these guys pretty often, so I thought we had a pretty good chance at holding out, especially with Scott and I on mics. So here you can see my score. My worst units actually mainly being Cav and line of tree, which isn't too surprising. They were just getting, thrown into the meat grinder and chopped up over on this flank. And so my best units also being line infantry, so that was pretty good. Anyway, guys, hopefully going to be posting more, maybe some ACW battles and some more Napoleon battles. I know I have some good sieges too that I should post. And hopefully we'll be on the gaming PC soon. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.